Well, a big hello and welcome to the
Hello.
Bald and the Beautiful with KB and the Doc. Are you ready, Doc? You ready?
Yes, Supreme Leader, I'm ready.
You've had your coffee.
Yes.
You've had your croissant. You're ready to go.
I had an escargot, Kevin.
And I do want to congratulate you because I know you've been relentless at this, at getting Greg Swan. I know you've been relentless, and you say you don't take no for an answer, which I'm pretty happy with. I think you're pretty brave.
Well, we go back, Swanee and I.
You're resilient, and you go back a long, long way with Greg Swan. So Greg Swan today obviously is going to be a very, very special guest because Doc has been relentless in pursuing him. And there's lots to talk about in the AFL with Greg today too. So looking forward to that segment of the program.
Well, it's gather round, Kevin.
Gather round. Well, that's why we've got him on. That's why we've got him on.
I'm not holding my breath, but...
What, is he unavailable sometime?
Well, no.
But he has confirmed.
He's confirmed that he wants to come on and is going to come on. Don't go doing sound effects.
Just happen to be in it.
Oh dear, it's the staple of talkback radio.
And I want to play this theme song for you, Doc.
Ooh.
It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag.
It's the emblem for me and for you.
You know something?
It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the blue.
It's very good. Well, that'll do. I actually I stood up and sung it like an idiot last week. I got to say.
You stood up in the crowd?
I did. I went last Sunday.
I heard you had tears running down your cheek.
No, I was very chuffed by their four-quarter performance. That's all. What
were you expecting, Doc?
I expected them to play well, but I think we all got sort of suckered in a little bit by. What we think about...
The aura around the Gold Coast.
Yeah, but having said that, had Raul coming back, not having played for 6 weeks and Petrarca's not there, so they got a few holes. But we were just fantastic for 4 quarters. Melbourne was terrific.
I haven't seen Melbourne side for a while that chases and puts pressure on, wants to play together, wants the players won. And there was a passage of play... Max going, my God, he's having a great year.
He is.
He did the ruck work. He tapped it down to, might have been Jack Steele or someone. And anyway, the whistle blew for a free kick. And the moment the whistle was blown, he took off and sprinted 65 metres from the centre circle, to the goal square, stood there, put his arms in the air, Steele or Sparrow, whoever it was, kicked the ball high in the air and he takes the mark and kicks the goal. It was just fantastic.
He must be the fittest bloke in the competition just about.
Why is that?
Well, he's running up and down the field for 4 quarters, doesn't take that many breaks. He's clearly at the age of 34, 35, he's in peak fitness.
Doc, I was doing that when I was 38 years of age. We never went off the ground.
Yes, but he's 7 foot tall, Kevin.
Aren't I 7 foot?
Well, you could put you could put Joey on your shoulders and you still wouldn't be 7 foot. I'm sorry.
How tall am I, Joey?
Is 177 7 foot?
177.
I thought I was 7 foot.
Yeah, you're a Collingwood 7-footer. There's an expression that's gone out of the game. He's a Collingwood 6-footer.
It was a great... When I was a kid...
Anyone who was 5'11" was a Collingwood 6-footer.
Wouldn't matter if you're 5'5". You were a Collingwood 6-footer.
Yeah.
Everyone that played for Collingwood was 6 foot.
But Max, look, and I'm desperately want him... I think we all do want him to get All-Australian this year and break the record, be the only player to have got 9 All-Australians. And 4 games in, he's captain of the All-Australian team at the moment.
I don't want you to brag, Doc, but... Do you think you've got the 2 best players in the competition with Cozzy and Max?
Well, no, I don't.
Big note yourself.
I mean, it's nothing to do with me. I mean, you're asking my opinion on something doesn't mean it's right. I mean, Max is having it's very early into the season, but he's having a fabulous season, and Cozzy is electric at the moment. I think he had a bit of midfield last year, but certainly without Petrarca and Oliver, he's had a lot of midfield time this year and is killing it.
Stephen King, the best coach at Melbourne since Norm Smith?
Enough. He's doing, they're a revitalised team and playing a different style of footy that they haven't played for 4 or 5 years. And it's working at the moment. But you know what happened, Kevin? Other clubs work it out and you start again. So
no Petrarca, no Oliver, and no May. So
three
really terrific players from Melbourne.
And Jack Viney.
And Jack Viney's not even playing yet. Will he get a game?
Well, he'll get a game, but obviously his ankle injuries are
So
a
those
bad
four
one.
players out.
Four all.
Bailey Frisch didn't play on Sunday either.
No, Frisch didn't play.
Malcolm
Fritz is
did.
out too. So, and what about Melksham? What about
Well, he's
the
always,
mark?
you know what? He's always been a good player at Melbourne, and he's had, he's done an ACL.
Great mark.
He missed a couple of final series, which really hurt the team.
Missed the grand final, didn't he?
He did an ACL as well, and
Plays his 250th this weekend.
he's been a terrific player at Melbourne. Terrific player at Melbourne.
Who do you play this week, Doc, in the gather round?
We play. Can you now say the hapless Dons?
Oh, you're playing Essendon, eh?
Poor old Bombers.
They in a bit of trouble, you think?
Well,
They've lost. They're going for 18 straight losses.
yeah. Well, they've got a long way to go, Kevin. 18 in the scheme of the history of the competition is not many. There's teams. I mean, you would have played against University.
I had a great jumper University with that dark blue on the yoke. It was fantastic.
They folded in 1914.
Yeah, well, they all went off the war dock
Yeah.
as officers and
Did you find
surgeons.
Did you find them tough opposition?
They were very, very tough.
They never
were
tried
tough.
to outsmart you, Kevin.
They played with a lot of enthusiasm, Doc.
They lost. I
If the
think
war hadn't have come along, they may have been a powerhouse.
they lost 50 odd games in a row. Joey?
51.
51 in a row. So Bombers have got two
Yeah,
seasons
but
up their sleeve.
in that period of time, there was a lot of green shoots.
That's right.
A lot of green shoots.
tell you the
and
great-
they had the support of the board.
Well, Victor Upton Brown, who I think coached them for a couple of years without a win,
He coached him for one, yep.
1 year without a win, and the board came out and said he's got our full support, and they reappointed him. But he said, nah. Pass.
That's because he went off the war, Doc.
How many years did University play in the VFL?
To 1914, they went out. So I
Yeah,
think,
when did they come in?
they must have come in about
1997?
no, about four or 5 years, Joey. I think.
University,
Yeah.
the years that they played, 1908 to 1914. 7 seasons.
So
Seven seasons,
yeah.
and they had a very poor strike rate. But, having the final series during their exams didn't help, Kevin.
What do you think of the Bombers? What do you think? Any advice from Doc?
Advice.
Against Melbourne.
They
The second half against the Bulldogs, who I think the Bulldogs were so far in front at half time, the players just switched off.
not half time. The Gold Coast did the same thing against Richmond.
They did.
Where you've got a big line, you're $1.10 favourites or whatever, and you're 6 goals in front at quarter time.
Yeah.
You know they're going to drop off, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, I think they just looked after themselves, the Bulldogs last week, and just did enough. So what you learnt from that, despite Dwayne Russell's commentary, that they're in the game and this and that.
Oh,
and the
that's right. They kicked a goal at one stage, and he said the Bombers are back, didn't
other.
he?
Yeah, it's just anyway.
But that's what they're told to do.
Of
Doc.
course, they've got to try and remain, keep some sort of
enthusiasm.
interest in what was a very uninteresting game.
No point saying this game is over because people may tune out.
I
You've
don't
got
know.
to say there's signs, Doc. They're coming back.
I don't know what the Bombers can do. I don't know what Carlton can do.
Carlton, I got great respect for Carlton.
No, you don't.
I
You
do.
say-
I do.
I'll tell you one thing. And
I know what they can
I'm
do.
I'm not being late to the party.
I can help 'em.
I said this to you last year. We are on the verge of having two different competitions in the AFL at the moment. There's the haves and the have-nots, and the gulf between 9th and 10th last week was huge. It was Bass Strait, and it's looking that way again this year. So,
There was a feeling watching the Carlton North Melbourne game
which was horrendous.
that you had.
It was a train wreck.
You,
I
that
was
you had
watching-
this gut feeling that something
You
was
knew.
gonna,
You just
something was going to happen to Carlton,
you just knew.
and somehow North Melbourne was going to pinch the game.
But it was a horrible game of footy, and it was saved by the drama of the last quarter, where the inevitable occurred, and that was Carlton was going to shoot themselves in the foot. If Carlton was a centipede, Kevin, they'd still managed to shoot themselves in every foot. It was actually unpleasant to watch. In all seriousness, I wanted Carlton to win because I couldn't bear having to watch Voss and then the attention on Voss.
Media caravan.
I just wanted to avoid the media caravan just parking in his front yard for a week, and because that's what they do. But unfortunately, they still managed to lose, as did Essendon.
And they've dropped George Hewitt for the game against Adelaide, which I'm surprised because I think they need all their senior players up and going. Now, he won their
something
best and
happened.
fairest last year, and he may not be playing as well, but no one at Carlton's playing well. Look at Paddy Cripps, he's not playing well. He looks demoralised to me. But George Hewitt last week, look, he still finished with 22 disposals. He had about 7 tackles and so many times inside 50s. Like, he may not be at his best, but surely he's good enough to be in the Carlton side where you're trying to resurrect your hopes and put up a good performance against Adelaide, because there's a very good chance, Doc, that they may get smashed by another 10 or 12 goals.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, I mean, maybe we don't know.
You need every good player on
Yeah,
deck.
but something may have happened off the field,
That we
Kevin,
don't
or,
know about,
any
Doc.
rules broken. But he does seem to be an interesting scapegoat. And you're right about Paddy. You wonder whether the game's just got a little bit quick for Cripps, or maybe the body's just copped that much of a battering over the years, the way he's played his footy.
I just wondered whether he's lost a bit of heart in the club in terms of motivation and, with the floggings that they've had this year.
Well, the AFL...
another hard slog year, and we're not going to play finals. We're not going to improve, and maybe it's just taking the edge off the poor bugger, because he's carried Carlton on his shoulders.
He has. The AFL's given them another chance, Kevin, because they're playing Thursday night football again
Why
this
is
week.
that, Doc?
Well, because the fixturing is what they do. The AFL is they send a paper bag with all 18 teams, the names of all 18 teams, and then 23 weeks, and they send it to the Melbourne Zoo, and they hand that paper bag through the bars in the monkey cage, and whatever games the monkeys pull out, Kevin, that's the AFL fixture for the year. That's how it works. I've got that on good authority.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
you know what? I've got no reason to doubt that's not the process. Right. So that's what's you wonder why you look at what about last Saturday's games, Kevin? I mean, you couldn't actually construct a worst fixture if you tried, could you? And Carlton's playing at the start of the year on the body of work that Carlton presented us with last year. We're into by the round 6. They'll have played four
4 Thursdays and a marquee slot on Good
Don't
Friday.
they play next week on a
Yeah.
Friday?
Yes.
No, Thursday night against
Carlton,
Collingwood.
Collingwood.
Another Thursday night game.
You couldn't actually. It's just
Someone loves
dumbfounding.
Carlton. Someone loves Carlton.
Well, yeah. Well, you respect Carlton, but
I
you don't
respect
love
them. I don't love them, but someone loves them. But I was thinking maybe it's time for Brendan Gale to go to Andrew Dillon and say, "Listen,
Hello.
why don't we pick the best 12 players from Carlton
I know where you're going with this.
and we take them to Tasmania with us, and we call ourselves the Tasmanian Blue Devils or something like that." No, truly, Doc. You know how when Fitzroy went out of business,
Yes.
Brisbane had the top 8 or 10 or 12 picks, and then the rest could suit themselves. And
That was a merger, Kevin.
it was, but look, it's sort of be like a merger, but it's Tasmanian Blue Devils. I mean, we'd have 18 teams in the competition. We wouldn't have to have a bye. I think the Carlton supporters themselves really have dropped off, even during the week. They won't even paint graffiti on walls in Carlton anymore. They do it in Richmond. They do it in Richmond. Anti-Voss or sack Voss. They've lost their heart. They've lost their enthusiasm.
So, but
they've
what
lost
about
their
all the
relationship with the club. And they'll pick up a whole bunch of new supporters in Tasmania. I'm talking sense, Doc, aren't I?
It's hard to argue with that.
I mean, given the top 12 players,
Kevin, the team's having a bad run. You
make
can't...
them competitive right from the start.
Yeah.
And away we go. I mean, they're quite obviously a stuffed club.
The Tasmanian Blue Devils.
They're completely stuffed, Carlton. And
Their theme song could be Blue Velvet. Who sung Blue Velvet? Bobby Darren or something? Bobby Vinton?
Frankie Avalon, was it, or someone? No.
Blue Velvet. Remember, Blue was a crooner, sort of a crooning
No,
song.
his name was Mel Torme.
Was it?
Was it?
Mel Torme.
Check that out.
Joey will tell us, the DJ over there.
Bobby Vinton.
Oh,
Best known
Thank
for
you.
singing.
I was about to say Bobby
I
Vinton.
think I may have said it, didn't I? Anyway, Bobby Vinton, that was one of those crooning songs from the 50s. Or
Well, you
whatever,
can have it
Blue
as a
Velvet.
theme song then if you want to. You can have that.
That's what I'm suggesting.
Joey, can we get a bit of Blue Velvet up?
We can get some of that up.
If we get a bit of Blue Velvet, because if they become the Tassie Blue Devils, they've got to have a song to sing afterwards. Yeah. And every other song, people just speak the words. They don't sing the songs anymore, do they? It's how fast you can rattle off the words.
I like rap, but you don't, so we're in a different...
No one sings the theme song
doesn't
anymore.
matter.
Well, why do we even sing the theme song?
Well, I sang the theme song last week.
No, but the players in the room.
It's a grand
There we go.
it's a high five.
You can't do that for Carlton.
What was the one? What was the one with Smacker Fitzgibbon in it? Remember that one? Playing the banjo.
Yes, that's
Essendon
right.
has the banjo.
Hey?
Essendon has the banjo. But no one's heard of it for 20 weeks.
Remember Smacker Fitzgibbon?
You know, when Essendon win a game, they'll have to hand out sheets of paper with the words on it.
Remember? Do you remember? This is fair.
We're not laughing at Essendon,
No,
though,
no.
Doc. We're
Do you
not
remember
laughing.
some of those? I think West Coast Eagles when they had players that had never played for
That's
the
right.
Eagles, and they had.
Under
to-
Adam Simpson.
I think when they won a game, none of them knew the words to the theme
Did
song.
they win a game? I reckon there was 4 or 5 players in one game that Adam Simpson had never ever met.
Oh,
Yeah.
the top-up
No, that's
players
right.
in
Yeah,
2020.
they were handing out jumpers.
The
But
school
I don't
teacher
think
played.
I don't think you'd ever met him.
He had correct. That's right.
Yeah. Were you a fan of Smacker Fitzgibbon?
He was terrific.
Yeah.
I went to his restaurant once.
Did you? Smacker's place. wasn't it?
Smackers, yeah. It was
I bought
like-
a couple of.
in North Melbourne, was it?
I think so. He had a great album called Hooked on Smack. It was a beauty. And Maggie Fitzgibbon was his sister, the actress.
Oh, that's right.
It was, yeah.
He used to be on TV. He used to do a lot of those great songs.
Mm.
But don't discount. I think Brendan Gale should contact Andrew Dillon and have a good, honest chat about
It's
it.
not going to happen, but I like, you're thinking outside the square for the first
Well,
time
we
in your
didn't think
life.
Fitzroy would disappear, and we didn't think that Sydney would.
Oh, we knew Fitzroy was gonna
South
disappear.
Melbourne would disappear, and at one stage there, a couple of other clubs, Richmond at one stage looked to be on the verge of.
What? Melbourne and Hawthorn.
being-
Footscray?
Melbourne and
Western
Hawthorn.
Bulldogs?
Now there's a great one. What were you going to call yourselves again? The
Melbourne Hawks, wasn't it?
Hawthorn Demons or Melbourne Hawks?
I think it was the Melbourne Hawks. But
Because
It
you
would have been the Melbourne Hawks.
you'd canvassed very strongly with your brother Mark.
I didn't canvass
to-
very.
to
Try
to
and
merge with Hawthorn.
try and be relatively
If it
honest.
wasn't for
in this.
Don Scott,
Yeah, Don Scott.
who stood up there with the jumper on and ripped off the Velcro of the Hawthorn little insignia, and that you had the Melbourne jumper. That's all you had was a Melbourne jumper.
Yeah. Do you remember that game between Melbourne and Hawthorn?
He was brilliant, wasn't he, Don? He was
Yeah,
brilliant.
he was good. Do you remember the game, the Melbourne Hawthorn game?
Last game of the
The
year.
last game of the year. And
Dunstall kicked 100
Dunstall kicked 10, I think.
to get to 100.
Got to 100. And Melbourne, who were a really poor team at the time, but the game went down to the final.
He would have been Melbourne's first century goal kicker,
Yeah.
Dunstall.
Don't think we're ever going to see one of them again, Kevin.
We got close last year.
88.
88 or whatever. It won't happen again.
Okay.
88.
88.
And the other thing last week, Doc, I whack on all the time about zone defence. It's the greatest con in the history of the game.
Yes.
And one day, some coaches going to be brave enough to say, and I think even maybe Melbourne is just starting to pick up their players a little bit more, other than zone defence, which is a nice little sign.
You'd be happy that they did a bit of tagging last week,
Well,
too.
play on someone. Now, the West Coast Eagles on the weekend,
whiz.
they used zone defence against Sydney Swans.
How'd that work out for them?
Well, they were witches' hats. They didn't even touch the ball. I mean,
That was, isn't it funny how you think a team's won a couple of games and there's got a couple of kids that are showing plenty here. Maybe they've turned the corner and then they just go.
but you got to put pressure on. You got to put pressure on the opposition, Doc. And if you're a side like Sydney wants to play on quickly and use the ball well, and you're zoning
Handball.
defence, and you got 20 metres between each zone of the defence, and they just keep hitting the targets going through the middle, you don't touch the ball, Doc.
See, I'm not a huge rap for Sydney. I mean, I think Sydney are a capable team, but
They look world beaters on the weekend.
they did look well beaters. But as you said, they played witches' hats who'd won a couple of games and said, well, that's it for the season, it appeared. But I would say that was the most inept performance in this season to date.
Yeah.
A season which has had way too many inept performances for my liking.
I wonder if I
It's a
could
very wobbly competition at the moment.
Joey, could you just put through a call to Carlton and ask them, do they want me to put on a barbecue?
We'll just check with them. Yeah.
Just check with them. Just say that I'm prepared to put on a barbecue, just to help them again, Doc. Because I got great respect for them. Great respect.
So where would they play out of if they went to Tassie?
Well, they first
Hobart at the new stadium?
No, they've got.
Would you waste that on them?
Well, they will be, but that's not for about 3 years. They'll be playing at Launceston. Launceston, mainly a couple of games maybe at Bellerive, but I think it's going to be about 3 years when they're in the competition. The VFL side's going quite well at the moment.
Haven't lost a game yet.
Which is good, Doc, you're a bit of a killjoy. Everyone's raving about, the Geelong Hawthorn game and what a fantastic crowd it was and great atmosphere. And I came in today and in a private conversation,
In a private
conversation, you said to me, you know what, Kevin, it was a shit game. It was a shit game.
He's laughing. I'll tell you what I said.
That's what you said.
I did qualify what I said by the fact that it was a exciting game, but the standard of it for two teams that are supposedly in the premiership conversation, there was an incredible number of skill errors, and you can't put them all down to the pressure of the game. I don't think it was a great game of footy. I don't think it was a great game of footy. I think we'll look back on it, or it's perceived to be a terrific game because it was close. There was 8 lead changes, and the team won the game. Hit the post with 3 seconds to go, but there was a
few goals kicked though, Doc.
The standard of the game was only so-so.
Do you remember those games between West Coast and Sydney? And they used to play them, and
it was 8 goals to 7.
7 goals to 8, and 8 goals to 7, and all that.
Grand
sort of
finals we're talking
and
about.
people used to say how fantastic
they were. Shit games of footy.
They were shocking.
That's all I'm saying.
They were shocking games, and people talk about them in some sort of reverence.
No, you're right.
That they were great games.
That's the point I'm making.
I remember saying to somebody once after one of the games, West Coast Eagles, they had Dean Cox in the ruck. They've got Chris Judd, Daniel Kerr, Ben Cousins. That's a
bit of talent.
That's start of the midfield, and crack people up forward, and they kick 7 goals.
Yeah.
And you think, well, how could you have a side?
Well, that's what footy was
with
like.
that much talent in it, you could only kick 7 goals in a grand final and 8 in another, whatever.
Like, I know there were obviously way more goals than that on Easter Monday, but I watched the game. I watched the game from start to finish, and I was, underwhelmed by the standard of the game. So if it had been St Kilda v, Adelaide or whatever, you'd be saying, "Oh, geez, what happened to that game?"
What did you think on the weekend after the game?
I will say one thing just before you go on.
Yes.
That at the end of the game, and I ended up watching Channel 7 for most of it, is that when the siren went, James Brayshaw was calling, he didn't say a word.
That's right. He just let the
picture and
the camera was shaking.
If Fox footy commentators would actually cop the lesson there from James Brayshaw.
So you're putting the boots in the Fox, are you?
I'm patting James on the back for understanding
and putting the boots into
for
Fox.
Understanding the medium, Kevin.
Yes.
And we don't need to yell and scream. We're watching. We're excited. You don't need to sell it for us. And just a little tick there to James.
Well done.
For just letting the pictures tell the story that there's no way any commentator could add to.
Well, at the moment, just on that, on Fox, they're playing Masters, of previous years, and because the Masters starts tonight, they call it the Masters, but we call it the Masters. But they showed a vision of, I'm not sure whether I think it might have been Rory McIlroy winning last year, and they showed the people in the control room, and when he sunk the putt, you heard the producer say, "Don't speak."
Yeah. We just don't get it here.
Don't speak.
We don't get it. Our commentators don't get it. And whether it's to do with the fact that most of them have got a radio background, I think it's got something to do with
the
it.
Picture, yeah.
But it still defies common sense. And I'm critical in racing. I think I got into a bit of strife last year with being critical.
Did you?
Critical of one of the racing guys after the Cox
Did
plate.
we have to apologise on air?
Did you want to just put a sock in it for a second?
Did we apologise on air?
I don't think so.
No, we didn't apologise. We were just asked
but
to move things
the Cox
along.
plate last
Not me.
year. Will you shut up? You just every now and then you can't add to it. We're so invested in what we're watching. And what we're watching is sporting greatness and wonderful performances and great excitement and tension and everything else. Let the pictures do the talking.
Do you remember there's been some great commentary, and I go back to when Kathy Freeman won the 400 in Sydney, and Bruce McAvaney at the end, said, "What a champion!
What a legend!"
And then what a legend! And then there was a pause, and Raylene Boyle was fantastic, and she said, "What a relief!" It was just
It's one of the great moments.
Great.
She was so spot on.
Great commentary, wasn't it? It was great commentary.
And speaking of that, of Bruce, because the stall gift was on last week and Bruce called the men's and women's final, we were just reminded of...
Have you got them there?
Do you want to? This is Sha'Carri Richardson's call.
Let's listen to the women's final with American
And listen
superstar.
to the starter, Doc.
So the nerves jangle, and again that deep breath comes in. Sha'Carri and Grace there. Eleanor watch for her late in the blue. And then Kiara in the yellow.
On your marks.
And Charlotte the favourite, Charlotte Nielsen in the green. And Emma Carr in the pink. Feel like the whole world's watching.
Set!
Away, Richardson got out pretty well. Nielsen quickly goes up to Carr. Santillia behind them and Crow. Sha'Carri's starting to wind up. Nielsen's got a big lead. Sha'Carri's running her down. It's so close. She's got up. She's come from the clouds. It's one of the moments we will never forget.
There you go.
It was a great run.
What a call too. What a beautiful call. That bloke there, that is the greatest set I've ever heard in my life.
I reckon if you're a runner, what you do is, as soon as the set finishes, he blows the gun.
Yeah.
So I reckon as soon as you hear the set, go. Bang.
Imagine if somebody's looked at him and said, "What?" That was fabulous, and Bruce's call was, just a beautiful call.
And she handled herself well, didn't she?
Yeah, well, she
Sha'Carri?
was. I don't know if you saw on
She's
net.
tiny. She's a tiny girl.
That southern accent of hers.
Richo
too.
speaking to Richo.
She gave a great interview afterwards, and if you ever saw that Netflix series on sprinters, on athletes, and they did one on sprinters, and Sha'Carri featured in that. She was great. What was interesting about that series? Did you watch it? It was on Netflix.
I haven't watched it yet.
It was about a 6-part thing on all the male and female sprinters, athletic sprinters. And you saw the Americans and also the Jamaicans and the Trinidadians, if you like, and just the different training facilities that they had in the West Indies compared to what the Americans had at their disposal was stark. And how they're so competitive, the Jamaicans, with facilities that you'd have to say were pretty Spartan.
And Jason Richardson does a great job at Stawell too, as a former winner.
Well, that's his. Well,
his backyard. Does a great job.
I keep reminding them to have a look at the YouTube video of him winning and see what he looks like with hair.
Yeah,
he's unrecognisable.
I'm always loath to mention Richo's name on the program because I know that you've got a lot of angst towards him, because he sort of, he
zero angst towards him.
Well, not really. We know.
Okay, you tell me what I'm thinking.
In private conversations, but it's when he was at our radio station years ago, and he came on and he was the janitor, and I had a chat to him and got him on the program, and then all of a sudden he started to grow in stature, and then all of a sudden he became Mr. Racing, and that sort of knocked you off your perch a little bit, and you got very jealous of the fact that Dr. Turf, who was the man, all of a sudden the go-to man, all of a sudden was no longer the go-to man. The go-to man was Richo.
Well, I think they
and you've had a bit of animosity towards him ever since.
I think they're prejudiced towards people with hair in the media, and people with not much hair get appointed well above their abilities, like
we
you,
haven't got
like
much
you,
hair,
like
dog,
you and
and no one wants to hire you.
Anyway, he did a great job, Jason. We used to say, not saying, one of his first gigs was doing Friday nights at Moonee Valley with Terry Bailey and I, and we had a ball on Friday nights, an absolute ball on Friday nights at Moonee Valley. Had a lot of fun, and
what happened to the show?
I walked out. in the end.
And why did you walk out?
Because
they didn't pay you enough.
Because TV, it was called TVN at the time. They were just impossible to deal with.
And you're so easy too to deal with. That's the thing.
You know,
I don't know why people find you hard to deal with, Doc. No, truly.
No,
because you're antagonistic and quirky. That doesn't mean you're hard to deal with.
They were bloody awful, and they're not much better. Yeah. But anyway,
do you regret walking out?
No, not well. I regret walking out on the two blokes I was working with, but not walking away from TVN. No, they were a basket case. A basket case. I remember talking to the CEO at the time. I won't say who he was. and talking to him about Friday nights, he said, "Oh, I don't watch it, so I don't really know what you're talking about." That's what he said to me. I don't watch it. I don't watch the station.
Hey, just on that, I was watching the racing on Channel 7 on the weekend, which was very good coverage.
So did I.
A very, very, very good coverage. And Jerry Harvey.
I was watching.
Now, he runs the Gold Coast Magic Millions and things like that, doesn't he? And he was being interviewed by Emma Friedman.
Well, he's got a million horses, Jerry Harvey, as well.
Yeah, and his horse won.
Yeah.
And he was being interviewed by Emma Friedman.
Who's about the best in the business.
Have you got any of that audio?
Oh, I don't think we can play that. This is a kiddies show. This is family friendly. Oh, mind you, after your Jerry D's and disgrace. How many people came up to me and said, "Does Kevin actually talk like that?"
I said to you, it wasn't me. It was the doll talking.
Yeah.
It wasn't me, Doc. I made that clear from the start. This is Jerry G talking, not me.
It's still you using that language. But anyway, go on.
Oh, I just thought if he had it, we could play.
Well, Jerry
Harvey, because he caught Emma Friedman off guard.
He caught the world off guard.
Caught.
Me included.
I actually wound it back. I thought.
Did he actually say that?
Say that?
He dropped the F-bomb.
Yes, he did.
He dropped the F-bomb on Channel 7 on a Saturday afternoon.
And wasn't even caring two hoots.
No, which I actually, in all honesty, thought was entirely inappropriate.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a stickler or anything like that, but it was unnecessary, vulgarity. Well, not a vulgarity because we're so used to that sort of language.
But he kept going. He was laughing and chatting away.
And Emma was a little bit taken aback by it.
Well, she blushed and turned away and a bit of a giggle. And
she is outstanding, Emma Friedman. She is a great interviewer, and the way the trainers and jockeys, respond to it, she's got, the fact that she's Lee Friedman's daughter is irrelevant because, she's her own person.
He owned a winner too.
He did. Well, I think he trained it originally and gave it to his brother. It was great to see actually the brothers there. I look back at Lee Friedman and think what he achieved in such an incredibly short period of time and then just disappeared.
Biggest trainer on the planet.
He was, and trained slipper after slipper winner and Melbourne Cup winner after Melbourne Cup winner, and then just derbies and the superstars.
He walked away and then he come back for a little while, didn't he? And sort of walked away.
The superstars that he trained, the Scalaccis and Mahoganies and
Mackay Divas.
These sorts of horses, and then just disappeared.
Just one thing before we go to a quick break, Doc. She's an Alibi, won the Doncaster.
Yes.
It seemed to me that Peter Moody, who just sat there stone-faced and then just a big smile came on his face as she dashed to the front, was nearly comparing her to Black Caviar.
Well, one's a sprinter, obviously. What Black Caviar will have up her sleeve forever is the fact she was undefeated. And all the comparisons, Wink's a middle-distance horse, if you like, a mile, a 2,000-metre horse. She's Alibi is going to be, as a miler, I guess. But
can she get 2,000?
They were never undefeated, those horses.
Can she get 2,000 on the Cox Plate?
And Black Caviar was. Well, we'll see.
She bolted in, Doc.
Got Autumn Glow coming up this week in the Queen Elizabeth on the weekend. Assuming she'll dispense with Aliana and Sedelis, we'll see. And I think they went there with Autumn Glow with the Cox Plate in mind. Cox Plate, don't forget, is at Flemington this year.
Good point.
We'll see. She's an Alibi, a $10,000 horse, who I think debuted at Rockhampton or somewhere like that.
Cost $10,000.
So it's a great story.
Where did they buy it from? What sales?
Well, it would have been somewhere up in Queensland. I don't know whether this is true or not, but they reckon that the owner of I don't know the bloke. Obviously, he's from up there, but he rang Chris Waller, and Chris Waller didn't answer his phone, so he rang Moody.
Well, he said he wanted Chris Waller to train his horse. And when you didn't answer the phone,
he rang Moody.
Peter Moody.
I don't know how true that story is,
picked up the phone.
But you know, he's back, Peter Moody. He's a great trainer, and we've talked to him on a number of occasions. We spoke to him Anzac Day last year. Remember on our podcast?
He's an expert
because he's a military historian. And he's just a great fella. He's great company and clearly a great trainer. He's got a real good one here, and she's an alibi.
And as we go to the break, Doc, that horse Wink's first foal that had that great bidding duel and sold for $10 million has been retired to stud without racing.
Yeah, well, my sweeping statement here is that anything you read, including sales figures and whatever, to do with the breeding industry, I treat with complete and utter disregard. I don't believe any price that I hear, any sale that I hear.
It was knocked down, Doc.
It's
$10 million sold.
It's all theatrical. It's like Jimmy, you know. Remember it was Jimmy. Was it Black Caviar's brother or sister that supposedly went for $5 million and then mysteriously had a snake bite? Died of a snake bite. A spider bite, I should say.
It got, no. Well, a spider's very dangerous, Doc.
It's all bull dust, Kevin. The breeding industry is
Anyway, it cost $10 million. It was bought by...
well, she bought it back, Debbie Capitas.
The owner of Winks.
Yeah.
They bought it for $10 million, but the vet has suggested she must have some ailment and that she be retired to start.
I'd never met her, and I stood next to Debbie Capitas in the mounting yard at Doomben for a Queensland Oaks, which usually is run at Eagle Farm, but it's at Doomben this particular year. I'd never met her before, and I was standing about 6 feet from her, and her screaming. Well, I had surgery on my eardrums the next day.
Did you?
That was my first experience standing next to her at the racetrack.
I'd never met her myself, and I was at the races, and she just turned around and shook me by the hand. She said, "KB, I'm a big fan." That's true story.
Yes.
True story. She just out of the blue just said, "KB, I'm a big fan." We'll take a break, Doc. We're coming back on the Bald and the Beautiful. Hey, Doc, Greg Swan's not on the program, but we've got someone bigger and better than Greg Swan. He's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
He's one of the great players, so underrated. He's one of the greatest Geelong players of all time, no doubt about that. And he's a great commentator, and he's a great raconteur, and he's been a TV star. He's been a great radio star. He's on Triple M. He's on the Rush Hour, which is the biggest show right around the country.
But
he
did everything but read your eulogy last week.
He wrote me off.
He wrote me off. He said you were dead. He said you were dead.
Grossly exaggerated, can I say that?
He said you and Khomeini in Iran both suffered
got taken out by Trump.
Yes, Trump got both of you.
And the great Billy Brown has joined. I think James Brayshaw's riding shotgun with him too. They are driving to Adelaide. Triple M won't fly them to Adelaide. On first class, so they've got to drive to Adelaide. Can you believe that? Billy Brown has joined us. G'day, Billy.
Oh, Kevin, you wouldn't believe how good it is to hear your voice, my friend.
Why did you wipe me off, Bill?
Well, we had a slip of the tongue. You know what happened, Kevin? Because I always used to listen to you on SEN, and you did it all on your own, and you did it for 3 hours. And when something happened wrong, when Joey would have stuffed something up like he always does, you would always say there's gremlin in the system.
Correct.
And last week, we believe it or not, stuffed something up on the Rush Hour. And I said to Brayshaw, Jim, actually, I said, there's gremlins in the system. And that reminded me about you, KB. And I said, what a great man he was. And then they just blew it up, Kevin. They blew it up.
Yeah. It's not unreasonable, though, to think that he died.
Why?
That wasn't that big a stretch, Bill.
At least James chimed in and said you got to apologise to at least the Bartlett family.
So we're giving you the opportunity, Bill, to apologise in person.
No, sorry, Kevin. He's a great man. We know that. 403 games, 5 jack ties. He's done everything in the game. He's called. He's done it all. And very good on the sportsman's night scene too. He's still got the tape measure on Jim and pulls that out. But But I'm sorry about that, Kevin, but I just a slip of the tongue, and it's all good now. We're all good mates because we got no hair together.
Do you know, Billy, when the day that Kevin does actually fall off the perch, I'll be out there on the circuit doing his stand-up routine because I've heard it that many times I can do it verbatim.
That's exactly right.
I reckon I know Billy's pretty well. Do you want to get out that rubber band, Bill?
Get the rubber band out. I pinched that one off Tony Shaw, and he still has a crack at me. And we know how smart Tony Shaw is. He wouldn't have come up with that. He would have pinched it off someone. So, hey, I'll tell you what, we're on the road here. Brayshaw's driving along nicely. Jim says hello to Dr. Turf and to KB. It's great to hear your voice, KB.
What does Brayshaw drive?
Oh, he's got a beautiful. Are you sponsored by Mercedes-Benz? Yeah, Mercedes-Benz.
In all honesty, Billy, tell us about Gather Round. It's something that you look forward to?
Yeah, we do. Well, we've been a few years now, and we go across as a team. As you would know, all the radio and TV crews go across as a team. And we take the team, the outside, the producers and the, what are you, busy? Digital man. He's our digital man. And we've got the producer's assistant. And we all go across. We stayed down at Port Fairy, down at James's house last night and ended up at the pub and back at his joint with a couple of bowls of red. Conowari apparently is the go, Dr. Sir.
Right.
And then, is it Conowari? Coonawarra, sorry. Coonawarra.
You think of Mottawarri, where Darren Weir used to
I'm
be.
thinking of Mottawarra, yeah, Coonawarra. And then, and now we're driving along and we get everyone in the bus. There's a bus just ahead of us and you have a bit of fun with the team also. But then you get over there, let me tell you, got people walking around in Freo scarves and Geelong scarves and Richmond scarves. I don't know if you've still got the scarf going. You still got those names on the fridge, KB, or you got rid of them?
I think we've still got them.
They all died.
And it's just a great time to be over there. Everyone's happy and families and everything. It's a great time.
So on Triple M, you're going to do your show, the Rush Hour, from over there. I remember reading, I think, was it at the start of the year where the Rush Hour in every state, they all got sacked except in Victoria, and you're going Australia-wide. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, they weren't happy with it. The people in Adelaide and the people in Perth, they all got the lemonade. And Jim and I now go into South Australia and go into WA. But you know what that means, KB? That means more money. You'd like that, my friend.
Well, you're networking. You're a bit like Kyle and Jackie used to be networking. So have you got a $100 million contract?
We're not on 100 mil. Jim's nearly there, actually. Rachel's nearly there. I do it for a load of wood. Fair dinkum, they tell me I tried to get some petrol, and they said, no, that's too dear.
Joey said to me that along the way you're doing sports nights. Is that right?
Oh, I'll do a few now and then, Kevin. You know what it's
along
like.
The way,
it's good
on the way to Adelaide?
Oh, no, we're supposed to, but now that we're driving, I'm going to miss a luncheon. It's cost me. It's cost me, KB, this. I can't believe it.
How many of them?
Yeah?
So how many of them do you declare to the tax office, Bill?
No, all of them, because you got to nowadays, Dr. Turf. You've got to do that.
Yeah,
they tell me you're very... That's right. They tell me you're very happy with yourself, with Melbourne flying at the minute under the great Geelong coach.
Yeah, look, it's not just that, Billy. I enjoy watching them play, and there's not too many teams you enjoy watching play at them. I think most of the competition supporters would enjoy watching what Melbourne's doing on the field. It's quick and it's very entertaining.
And you know what? They're enjoying themselves, aren't you? You can see them out there. They're actually happy and smiling and loving playing the way the Kingy set them up. And you're right, they're kicking goals. There's nothing better than watching teams kicking goals. They kick 100 points, mate. You nearly win every game if you're kicking 100 points. So I'm enjoying Melbourne too. So good on to Kingy and all they've got some good kids. We've known that for a while.
Did you have much to do with Stephen King at the Cats?
No, not really. I didn't play with him. He was a bit after me, but very good ruckman there, and he's done his dues, hasn't he? He's been around for a long time and been assistant coach here and there. So he surprised me, to be honest, and made a couple of hard decisions, and the D's are flying.
I said, Bill, at the start of the introduction, you're one of the greatest Geelong players of all time. And I mean that because, no, you are. You're so underrated. I was watching one of the great old finals on Fox recently. I think you might have been playing St Kilda. I think you might have kicked 9 goals at one end and Lockett might have kicked 10 at the other or something like that. But without you, Gary Ablett would never have taken those great marks.
Exactly. I reckon the first or second year I came into the VFL back then, KB, where you used to dominate. I was on Mark of the Day with Drew Morford on the ABC. What a great man he was.
Yep.
And I was on the Mark of the Day, I reckon, 7 times, and not one of them was I marking it. It was like Ablett on top of my shoulders, about to crunch me and knock me over. And the worst feeling in the world was standing there, and you could hear the crowd about to yell Ablett, and you knew he was coming, and you just go bang straight into your back. Oh,
so you were Gary's stepladder.
One of the great stepladders, like Gary Lyon was a great stepladder. Of
He
course, Jeff
was
Farmer was
too.
on his back, and Stephen Smith was on his neck.
Oh, yeah, he was too. He hates that.
Now, can we ask James one question? Is he happy with North Melbourne at the moment? Are they on the right track after being a former president?
KB, who's still alive, by the way, Jim, he wants to know, are you happy with North Melbourne at the minute?
Better.
Oh, better. That's
Better.
all he... Oh, you got to be more. Come on, Jim, give us something.
Better.
Better. That's all he's
There
saying.
you go.
Oh, better.
Hey,
Better.
I'll leave you with a great piece of irony about this particular interview, you and Jim. Billy, the fact that you two today are brought to us by Tobin Brothers, celebrating lives. And that is the truth. So,
KB,
Yes, Bill.
have you thought... No.
have you what?
No, he's just gone.
Oh, we've just... He's dropped.
He's just gone through it.
He dropped
Quite
out.
early.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, you dropped
we,
out.
we missed you there, Bill. What?
No, I was wondering if you wind up early because you get a...
Oh, he's suggesting...
Sorry, boys, I've dropped out.
You're dropping out, but are you suggesting asking whether KB has signed up early for a discount at Tobin Brothers?
Yes, yes, and we know what he's like, so he would have signed up 10 years ago.
Hey, Bill, great for the chat. Have a great time in Adelaide with you and James, and thanks for joining us on The Bald and the Beautiful.
Good luck on the rush hour.
Hey, good on you, Dr. Turf, and great to hear your voice, KB.
Yeah,
Keep at him,
the
son.
great Billy
Stick it up
Brownlee.
'em.
We had a few gremlins in the work then. Did you
Yes,
notice
we
that
did.
right at the end? The gremlins, they just jumped up.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, gremlins. We'll be back with a lot more on The Bald and the Beautiful. Welcome back to The Bald and the Beautiful with KB and the Doc. It was great catching up with the great Billy Brownless. And you know, you go
his
from
driver.
and his driver, James Brayshaw. You go from one champion to another champion. What are you laughing at? Because Matty Campbell was a champion footballer from South Australia.
I was laughing at something else.
Highly sought after, went to the Brisbane Bears and absolutely dominated. And he's dominated every medium he's ever been involved in. And today, he's not in the studio today.
No, it's gather round, Kevin.
He's gathered around and
He's gone home.
He's in the boot of Billy Brownless and James Brayshaw, finding his way to Adelaide.
Yeah.
So he might be a little bit muffled, but it's great to catch up with a great man from Better. G'day, Matty. He's in the boot of the car.
Sound like Jerry G
There's
again.
a little bit of Jerry G in that one there. Yeah, I came over a bit early.
Let me out of here.
I came over a bit early.
I'm told it's hosing down in Adelaide.
Yeah, we had a lot of rain yesterday. I drove over and from about Keith through all the way through to Adelaide, we had a lot of rain yesterday, and a storm has just gone through here in the last half an hour. With a fair bit of rain and thunder, so hopefully they're trying to get rid of it all before all the action starts. But there will be some wet footy played this weekend in Gather Round.
Why is everyone driving to Adelaide? Don't you
the cost
fly
of the
anymore?
flights?
Well, they charge you an arm and a leg.
Well, Billy Browns and James Brayshaw's driving to Adelaide. Matty Campbell's driving to Adelaide.
Well, I've actually got.
What's it cost to jump on a plane these days?
Well, I've actually.
Well, they gouge you, the airlines.
They do. As soon
rob you.
as they put Gather Round into the system, it just went bang. But it is school holidays, so I've got my son over, and we bring the dog over, Kevin. So we've got family over here, so the dog can have a holiday as well. So
What, a greyhound? Is it a greyhound racing?
no, it's a Labrador, a good old fashioned food crunching Labrador.
The only dog that will eat itself to death. Did you know that? That's true.
They would if they could.
Okay, let's get the racing done and dusted here. We'll start with Caulfield. A couple of features there. First of all is the Galilee Series final, which is always a good race for the young stayers heading towards the St Ledger on Anzac Day. But good little race here. I've been following Arabian Prince for Mick Kent. He broke his maiden status the other day, and I think he's well up to this.
Certainly a little bit of money for him. The favourite is Single Choice at $3.40, Amazaki $4.40 out to $4.80, and Arabian Prince $6.50 into $5 with us here at Better. Dad and Dave 10, Royal Options is at 12, and then you've got John Itch at 16. Longer odds the rest.
Dad and Dave.
Great name, isn't it? Dad
Well, there's a
and Dave.
horse in there called Poor Old Johnny Ray.
There was, yeah.
It was a lyric in a song by Dexy's Midnight Runners. Mate.
Correct.
Johnny
correct.
Ray was a terrific singer.
Johnny Ray was a crooner. We
Crooner.
talked about crooners, but my mother loved Johnny Ray.
The Little White Cloud That Cried, I reckon he sang.
Really?
And he used to have tears running down his cheek.
Okay, that'll do for Caulfield. Let's go over now.
Did he do the white sports coat as well?
And a pink carnation.
Yeah. Was that Johnny Ray?
I don't know, Kevin. No, I don't know.
Good name for a horse.
Okay, let's go over to Randwick, and we'll start with the Sydney Cup, which is normally a pretty ordinary race, but I reckon it's actually a strong race this year, the Sydney Cup, race 7, the Schweppes Sydney Cup, and let's deal for Danny O'Brien is over there in great form, but you've got River of Stars, who is, ran second in the Caulfield Cup, fourth in the Melbourne Cup last year, Valiant Kings in the race. You've also got Machine Gun Gracie, Perth mare now with the Hayes Camp, who bolted in last start. It's actually quite a strong field, the Sydney Cup this year.
Certainly a difficult betting race, Doc. It's $5 the field, which is Mr. Monaco. Then you got $7 Campbell River of Stars 9 into $7.50. Soul of Spain 9. Now a couple you mentioned, I don't mind. The back Machine Gun Gracie 15s into 9s. New Looks 10s into 9s, and Let's Deal for Danny O'Brien 15s into 12. So they backed a couple that don't have that Sydney form.
What's Valiant King, as a matter of interest? Mixes his form a bit, but he's on his day. He'll look out.
$29.
Oh, okay. That might interest me later on.
Whiskey on the Hill won its last start.
Yeah, Whiskey on the Hill is a good solid stay for Glenn Thompson. Okay, race 8 is the Queen of the Turf Stakes. Always a great race for the mares, a Group 1 race for the mares, and Pride of Jenny, she's avoided the big guns.
She's retired, isn't she, Doc?
And this is a contest, Pride of Jenny and Treasure the Moment, head-to-head in this particular race. You've got other good mares in the race, Lady Shenandoah and others. But I think this is mouthwater in this contest between Pride of Jenny and Treasure the Moment.
Gee, it's a fantastic race, and I can't wait for this. Betting-wise, no one knows. Lady Shenandoah, $3.90. Treasure the Moment, $3.90. Pride of Jenny, $4.40, and then you got the outside of the top 4, which is Idle Flyer, who's still in with a chance at $6.50. Longer odds the rest.
Yeah, that's a great race. That is a great race.
Who are you tipping, Doc?
I'm tipping Treasure the Moment, who I know she beat a bunch of scrubbers the other day, but I think if she's back, she's back. And
you don't dare tip Pride of Jenny, do you? Because she's an embarrassment to you, actually. She is really. You abused her owner, you abused her trainer.
Do you think I'm going to fall into you?
After she bled, you said that she should. Matty, back me up on this. She should be retired. Money hungry, I think you may have even used the term. Running her, taking her to the well too many times.
You know, somebody pointed out the other day. Just let me interrupt.
And since then, she's won $2 million or something.
The trainer, they now avoid races with Gay Waterhouse runners in because of the tactics sometimes applied against Pride of Jenny by Gay Waterhouse runners, which I think is interesting.
When Pride of Jenny's running, they sort of gang up on her.
Well, there was one in particular last year which was just embarrassing, I thought, and went straight through the keeper.
So they take her on when she goes to the front.
Race 9 is the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and what a race this is. Due by Honour, Sir Delius, Autumn Glow and Aliana, the unbeaten Autumn Glow. But boy, this is a quality race. This I would imagine would be the best field in Australia in the last couple of years.
Well, they're world-class horses, aren't they? What we know with Dubai Honour and Sedelius, and then what we've seen from this prep with Aliana, and of course you mentioned Autumn Glow, who's going for 12 straight, 12 out of 12. Look, we're not going to give you a price on Autumn Glow, Doc. It's only $1.45. I doubt whether you'll get more than $1.50. Sedelius, $7. Aliana, $7. Dubai Honour, $8.50. $26 or more the rest.
Yeah, I mean, the way I looked at the previous run, I thought Sir Delius was not a great ride, and I think Craig will be far more aggressive on Sir Delius this week. Aliana ran down Dubai Honor last up, but Dubai Honor was all over the shop. It just.
What price is Caviar Heights, please, Matty?
What?
No, it's not the dumbest question. It's Zach Lloyd on board. It's a William Haggis horse. It's $126 to win.
It's owned by my next door neighbour, Jim.
Oh, here we go.
$7.50 to play.
Jim Neighbour.
This sounds like a leg of the
To
multi.
dream the impossible dream.
We got the multi last week, by the way.
We did.
We got the multi.
I got a message from Coffee Annan, signed by Boutros Ghali as well, thanking us, and they've named a well after the Bald and the Beautiful in the Sudan, which is very nice.
Well, we can get another well this week.
There's not much water in it, but at least there's a well.
Well, let's get another well, Doc.
Anyway, look, this is a fantastic race, and a race that I won't be betting in, but I'll enjoy watching.
So don't knock Caviar Heights. It's been brought out here. It ran second first up. Out from England. Mm-hmm. I've got some good inside information on this horse, Doc, because
Never tipped a winner.
He was spelling next door to my house. I saw him running around in the paddock next door to me, and he was eating clivias, and that's a good sign. Good sign. The coat is gleaming at the moment, and they've taken it up to Sydney. My original thoughts were they were going to bypass it, but it's done so well, Doc. It's done so well that they're going to run it. And if they're going to run it with William Haggis, the trainer, He doesn't bring over drongos, does he, Matt?
No, he doesn't. And you wouldn't. You could put it in your multis to try and run third or fourth.
There you go. Okay, let's go together round with the footy now. Finally, all 18 teams will represent themselves this weekend, and starting tonight,
Adelaide and Carlton.
Adelaide and Carlton, which looks a very, very one-sided affair.
$1.13 the Crows, Carlton $6. Line for the game is 34.5. Now the early money's saying Carlton get within 34.5. I think that's based on what they've been doing and sort of starting well and finishing poorly, and also the weather.
You should have a market, really, who's in front at half time. That's the only interest, I would have thought.
Collingwood?
Game 2?
Collingwood versus Freo.
Collingwood Freo.
Collingwood Freo, I'm going to head along to that one actually. Collingwood is $2.65. Fremantle $1.48. Line for the game 12.5. Bit of money to say Fremantle cover that line.
I would suggest Fremantle will cover the line.
You've backed them to a fortune, haven't you, Doctor, in the play? No, you have. You have. You told me in a private conversation, you said, I'm up to win squillions if they get up.
I did mention on this program at the start of the season they were my smoky premiership selection there. I still think Brisbane will win again, but
can North upset
they
Brisbane?
are morals tonight.
Can North upset Brisbane? What are they going for, 4 in a row or something?
3 in a row.
Are they?
3
in a row, is it?
Yep. North Melbourne $5.50. Brisbane $1.15. Line is 34.5.
Yeah, they'll cover that, I would have thought.
And they get back Harris Andrews, haven't they?
Yeah, Harris Andrews and
still
not McCluggage yet?
Not yet.
McCluggage, maybe a question mark over McCluggage.
Okay, next game, Kevin.
Oh, it's a great game. This is Essendon versus Melbourne.
$4.10 Essendon, $1.24 Melbourne, 27.5 is the start that the Bombers get.
Going for 18 straight losses.
Yeah. There you go.
We worked out.
That's enough.
Worked out. They've got 34 games to go to equal university.
A record that has stood for 112 years.
Well, the Bombers they had a good second half.
Well, Essendon has beaten Melbourne and Gather Round the last 2 years for what it's worth.
It's worth a lot. And
I think
they'll get Nate Caddy back.
I think Melbourne will dispense with them comfortably. Next game.
Well, it's Sydney versus Gold Coast.
That's a good game.
Yeah, these next two games are rippers. Swans are $1.77. They're favourites to beat the Gold Coast Suns, $2.05, and the line's only a small one, so it's only 3.5. So more about maybe the margin betting 1-39 comes in here. Sydney $2.35, Gold Coast $2.55.
I think Gold Coast and Morals.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Did you not see Sydney play last week against Witches?
Yes, they rang rings around them. I think Gold Coast are a better team than Sydney.
I just wondered whether Gold Coast, whether the hype has been a bit too much.
No, look,
How's McAndrew going on his $12 million a year, 14-year contract?
I've got no opinion of Sydney. That's all. I think Sydney are a good team. I think they're absolute guaranteed.
They've got
finalists.
Curnow kicking goals now. Marty's jumping up, taking marks.
Yeah, exactly.
Logan
you want
McDonald back.
to rely on those two?
They've got Papley back in the side.
I think-
Heaney is starring.
Yes.
Mills is starring.
I
Warner's starring.
Okay. I like Gold Coast.
Oh, okay.
Next.
Geelong versus West Coast.
No, you got
Saturday
Hawthorn
night.
playing Western Bulldogs Saturday night.
I'm sorry. Let's go to Hawthorn, the Bulldogs first.
Ooh.
Hawthorn-
Bulldogs all of a
Got
sudden.
a debutant.
Injuries.
Yes.
Debutant Lewis Emmett is going to do the ruck.
You know, their two best maybe
He is.
their
He
two
plays
of their
Timmy.
three midfielders are out.
Young Ruckman,
Yeah,
Lewis.
but losing, they didn't have Liberatory last week, and now they've lost Ted Richards out last week as well, and
He might come back with Richards.
they lost Tim English.
Lost English.
Even that Artie Jones, who
Artie looked terrific
who
last
think
week.
He's
Artie.
there and replacing Cody Waitman. I think he's played no footy for 2 years now.
He
Cody
was fantastic last week.
And
He
then did a
turned the corner,
hamstring.
Artie Jones, last week.
Maybe.
So that was a shame he got injured.
Anyway, a little bit wobbly at the moment, playing the Hawks, who are coming off a 5-day break as well, I assume.
Yeah,
I think the Bulldogs will beat them.
I think the betting reflects the injuries for the Bulldogs. Hawthorn $1.62, Bulldogs $2.30. Line's only 8.5. Had the Bulldogs not get the injuries, I reckon it might have been a toss of the coin, given that the Hawks are coming off a 5-day break.
The tough thing for them is going to be, because they just do the tip-off now
Yeah.
at the centre bounce, that Ned Reeves and that last week, I mean, they were just dynamic, just tapping the ball down, because it's just a tip-off, not a ruck contest anymore. And I think Joey just said young Louis Emmett's coming
6'8".
in. What's his size? 6'8". Well, he's a reasonable size, but Ned Reeves is about 6'10", I reckon. So that might somehow be the big factor in Hawthorn's favour.
Okay. Do we have to do Geelong West Coast, or can we let that slide?
No, Geelong West Coast, because we'll see how the Cats go against the mighty West Coast Eagles.
Mighty.
$1.10,
Mighty.
$7 for West Coast,
$1.10.
and 44.5 is line. Eagles coming back to crashing back to earth after a couple of wins against the Swans.
10:30
Line's
start in
low.
Perth for that game.
That zone defence worked very well for the West Coast Eagles last week, Matty.
I didn't see the game, mate. I just looked at the score and went, what happened there?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't touch the ball. That's what happened. So we've got Geelong there. Now, this is a great game coming up. Isn't it? What are you laughing at? It's Giants versus Richmond.
Giants $1.14, Richmond $5.70, 34.5 is the
that's
start
good
for the
value.
Tigers.
Anyone back for the Giants? Do we know?
Couldn't tell you.
Richmond might get a few back. We lost a couple of players as well.
The Giants could have Toby
Well,
Bedford, Aaron Cadman, and Brent Daniels all back. Jack
And then the
Buckley
Tigers have
also.
got back.
Richmond.
And Buckley as well. You're going to get annihilated.
Hang on.
You're gonna get
what's the changes
annihilated.
for Richmond, they reckon?
Changes.
In Dyer,
Good.
Bartlett, Burke, and Clay.
There is 3 that are tests for the Tigers, including Sam Cumming, Hugo Ralphsmith, Noah
Very
Bolter,
good.
What about,
Josh Gibcus,
Outstanding.
What about,
and the
He
rest
can play.
are out.
what about Samson?
He's suspended.
How's he
He's out. He's suspended. He just whacked the bloke in the guts.
Gee whiz.
And we've got Port Adelaide taking on the Saints.
Yep. Port Adelaide to finish off, gather round. They're $2.35 outsiders. The Saints $1.60, 8.5 is the start.
Yeah, I think
Saints.
Saints should be able to beat Port Adelaide. I know they won against the Tigers, but they weren't that impressive. I know they could have been 8 goals in front at quarter time, but it was a pretty ordinary game. They've got quite a few players out. Depends who they get back. Todd Marshall, there's a chance, may come back into the side.
Hasn't played much footy, has he,
No,
Todd
but
Marshall?
but he does help out up. So he's been playing down back, actually.
They're not much good.
Matty, our multi, mate, because we want to roll with the multi, and Doc's been in...
Before we do the multi,
Yes, Doc.
just while we work our multi out, Matty, just grab a Masters golf market for us
Standing right.
as we give our selections out for the multi. And I can't get on the internet here.
Scotty Scheffler favourite, as
There we
always.
go, Scheffler. He's coming into the Masters as a 2-time winner in not great form.
No, he's not in his best form, is he? He's at $7.
I told you he was going to be one of those one.
Yeah, you said that last year. He won 8 tournaments.
John Rahm's a good chance. He's at $11.
Who?
John Rahm, he's a good chance at $11.
That's who I'm tipping.
Yeah, Bryson DeChambeau 12. Rory's at 13. Ludwig Oberg is at 14. A lot of people tipping him. Xander Schauffele 15. Cameron Young 19.
As you know, Matty, I'm a devotee of golf. Follow it very, very closely. I'd like to know the price of Patrick Reed because on the DP World Tour where he's been playing
And live.
But DP World Tour, he's been dominating. He's a previous winner, played very well last year too. I reckon he's a big chance.
He's at $34, same price as Minwoo Lee, and he's at $1,000 for anyone to like that he wins. He's a low individual,
$1,000?
Patrick Reed.
No, he's a very unpopular human being.
He's not popular to win, yeah. I think he's the only winner to get booed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
On the final hole.
He's
And
got
what
a bit of
about
form.
my old perennial favourite, Tommy Fleetwood?
Tommy is at $21.
And having another really, really good year, Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay, well, what about our multi-doc?
In the multi, I'm going to need some help here because I cannot get on the net here. My selection is in race 1 at Caulfield, and it's Peter Galagotis' horse, House of...
Cards?
no.
Horrors?
Coming.
What is it?
Race
What
1
is it, Joey?
at Caulfield.
Race 1 at Caulfield.
House of Lords.
House of Lords.
$8.
I put a lot of effort in.
No, and I'll taking him the place. He's out to 2,000 for the first time, but I reckon he's crying out for it. I'm keen on this horse on Saturday, but it's a lock for the place for me.
That's $2.75 for the
I
place.
didn't even know its name.
Well, I didn't want to. I thought it was House of Lords, but I didn't want to get it wrong. House of Lords is the horse. And he trained a double yesterday at Sale, Peter Galagotis. I reckon this bloke is crying out for the 2,000 and represents terrific value. He's my leg to run the place.
Your leg, Matty?
Randwick Race 5, the Australian Oaks. After summer, the place, $2.50.
Oh, yeah, it's a good little mare. Good little filly after summer.
Yeah, should have won the Vinery, third up winner.
Well,
And
coming
Kevin,
off-
I
coming
hate
off-
to think what you're
Coming
up
off
with there.
last week, how we did so well, and lucky I was, got
Lucky you
mine
took the
Like,
Bulldogs
got
to
mine.
win at $1.01. That was your leg last week.
Lucky I was in the multi in best form.
Yeah.
Because I give us the best chance.
Come
to
on.
win. And we need a bit of value.
Come on, no.
Bit of value, Matty. And I usually go for football, but I'm going to go to racing because I've
No,
got
you're not putting the 125 to one
I
horse
have
in.
got, Doc,
No.
inside information. I've watched this horse prancing around in the paddock next to me. I'm taking Caviar Heights to win the Queen Elizabeth
Win.
Stakes. Win.
So the best race in Australia in the last couple of years, and you're taking the rank outsider.
Well, Doc,
Well, it'll beat the unbeaten Autumn Glow, the
who's
champs,
never ran over 2,000 metres
Sir
before.
Delius, Aliana,
This horse fights on like a tiger.
Dubai Honour, the European horse.
Yeah, but he's only in the race to cart up Caviar Heights.
Kevin,
I'm overruling. I'm letting him take it, but I'm letting you take it the place, Kevin.
you've been overruled.
I can't get overruled. It's my selection.
No, we're having a
Hey,
vote.
do you know?
We're having a best of three, the vote.
Doc, sorry, Doc. You and I were at the Melbourne Cup one year, and the horse won called Pride of Prince of Penzance.
Yes.
What price was it again, Doc?
100 to 1.
100 to 1, right? Okay. So Caviar Heights for me to win the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. I know something about the horse, Doc. I'm trying to let the listeners in.
I'm not even going to
giving you
bother
some-
with the email to send it through.
I'm giving you some
Jeez, you'd be flattered if it
inside
won.
information, Doc.
$866.
That's it. 800, mate. Can you imagine how deep we can go with that well? We could get oil.
You know something? For the first time in the history of the world, I hope there's an airstrike on Wheelers Hill. I'm calling in Donald to just put us out of our misery and bomb Kevin Bartlett's joint.
Matty.
Because you just, what about the kids? Think of the kids.
Oh, when I tipped Prince of Penzance, you said the same thing. I was the only one that tipped that horse to
Matty,
win.
enjoy Gather Round. That's our multi. I can only recommend the punters ignore it.
Always brought to you by Better, of course.
And,
Right, the best odds. Have a look at Better.
Better get on the Better website, get the Better app, and have a punt on the weekend.
Good on you, Matty.
I'll see you back live next week, boys.
Great to have the third banana back in the studio next week, Doc. It just adds a little bit of class, doesn't he? We'll take a break when we come back. Goose of the week, Goose of the week, Gibberish of the week.
Thanks, Matty.
Thanks, Matty.
Storm's just about to hit again, another one.
Oh.
The joys.
Carlton,
Hey,
Carlton will be liking this. You're right, Doc.
Do we play the anti-gambling thing
haven't.
at the end of this? Fucking I think we have to, don't we, Matt?
Podcast, I'm not
I've never
sure.
been
To be honest,
second.
legal.
It's a good question, actually. We might be breaking the law. Again.
Well, we certainly are with Caviar Heights.
Oh, you fucking idiot.
They haven't picked us up for the last 3 years, Doc.
We'll
No,
just
that's
keep going
right.
until we're told not to. Gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
See you, Matty.
See ya.
See you, mate. Thanks, buddy. See you,
I'll
mate.
just say gamble irresponsibly.
All right, let's keep rolling. Goose, goose, gibberish.
Okay, welcome back. Bald and the Beautiful, Doc. And I know you're very, very, very strong in some of these awards this week. The Goose and the Goose and the Gibberish of the Week. And the Goose of the Week, you, in a private conversation before the show, you gave this person one hell of a whack.
Well, it's not a surprise for those who follow tennis a little bit like I do. In the ATP Tour, which this week is on clay in Monte Carlo, Daniil Medvedev. We've seen breakdowns before where players completely lose it and smash their racket and crash their racket and make complete other nitwits out of themselves. But Daniil Medvedev has topped himself. I've never seen any performance like it.
Smashed his racket?
He lost to Berrettini, who's the Italian who's had a few injuries over the years. He actually played in a Wimbledon final once, Berrettini.
He did.
Medvedev beat him 6-love, 6-love. Two bagels.
He lost Medvedev, did he?
Medvedev lost.
Yeah, you said it
Sorry.
wrong.
Medvedev lost 6-love, 6-love, 30 unforced errors, million double faults. And you want to... We'll whack it up on our
YouTube.
YouTube version of the show, and you can have a look at Medvedev's meltdown in Monte Carlo last night. He is the goose of the week.
And what did he do after he smashed his racket 37 times, Doc?
He walked over to the rubbish bin and put his tennis racket in the rubbish bin.
Well, that's good.
At least he was thinking about the environment, Kevin, which was very important.
Well, maybe he's going to be the Goose of the Week as well.
He doesn't like clay.
I thought
Medvedev.
Carlton might have got a mention for their performance on Thursday night for being Goose of the Week or Geese of the Week.
Well, why would they get it ahead of West Coast Eagles?
Well, because it's Carlton. And as I said before, don't be surprised if they don't finally go to Tassie. Goose Doc of the week. There's only one person this can be.
Him. What was his name, Joey?
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh,
mate.
Sha'Carri.
Oh, it's got to be Sha'Carri.
I think it's the starter.
Well, yeah, the starter as well. He can be.
No, Sha'Carri was fabulous, and
they said I heard Richo say that they clocked her at the 100-metre mark because she ran off scratch on grass, and she ran 10.75 at the 100-metre mark. Fantastic. I'll tell you what was interesting. They said to her after the race, when did you think you had the race in your keeping? And now she just sort of really got up on the line by about a quarter of a metre, I suppose, in the end. And she said, at 90, I thought I had it.
Really?
At
Nearly
90.
missed altogether when she pulled
still
up at the semi.
30 metres to go. She was still about 5 metres behind at that stage.
It got a lot of coverage on social media in the States. The fact that she was at a country town running for, I think the prize money was 27,000 or something like
40,000 for the winner.
She would have got appearance.
Someone said she 90,000 to appear.
Well, Gautgat got, I'm told, 50 grand last year. So she's got nearly double what Gautgat got.
Didn't we get told by some mysterious informer that he got 500,000 and pulled the trigger on the grand final?
Oh, the grand final sprint.
That is correct.
Well, he should have had a false start, mate.
There he goes. I reckon.
You said he knocked the gun.
That was his bad dream.
Oh, that's right.
And he shot
Snoop Dogg.
P Daddy. What is his name? Not Snoop
Shot
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg with the starter's gun.
Yeah, that was my grand final prediction.
Prediction. Gibberish of the week.
Gibberish of the week, Kevin. Yes.
Well, Chris Scott was on. Chris Scott was on.
He's a multiple winner.
He was on he's great to listen to, Chris. He's fantastic, I reckon. He was on after the game, which was a great thing to do because they got beaten by a point, and you imagine how the coach feels. But he comes on and he was just fantastic, and but he did have a crack at the
Wild card.
The wild card, the finishing 9th and 10th and playing off, and he said, look, I shouldn't be saying this, and but you get me after the game, and I'm a bit loose and things like that, but I think they just put it on to make some money and cash and just for the TV, and then we read today that Andrew Dillon comes out, of course, the AFL boss, and he said he had a chat to Chris. And Chris said that it was just a poor attempt of humour. Just a poor attempt of humour. So I reckon a combination of Andrew Dillon and Chris Scott, I reckon, can be gibberish of the week, Doc.
Yeah.
I think they've just tried to nip all of that in the bud. It was just a poor attempt at humour. But I watched it, and he was fair dinkum.
He was fair dinkum.
And he half expected a whack, I reckon. So he's obviously got a bit of a whack from the AFL, but the official response is that everything's great, everyone's honky-dory. It was just a poor attempt at humour.
You know what would be great for the grand final this year, I was just thinking, is in the middle of the ground, as the umpire is about to throw the ball in the air to start the 2026 grand final, that the start from stall is standing next to him, and yells out, "Sat!" and that's when the umpire throws the ball up. Wouldn't you like to see that?
It's great. Has
that got legs on it?
You're always thinking, Doc. You're always thinking. And just whilst you mentioned umpires before we wrap up the show, I'd like to see pushing the back being paid in AFL footy.
Gee whiz, how bad has that been this year?
Aaliyah against Richmond.
He did it 6 times.
He took mark after mark after mark.
Yeah.
He just pushed the opponent in the back. I think Jared Hilly nearly went blue with rage.
You're entitled to. I mean, it's a benchmark foundation free kick, isn't it? Round the neck, in the back,
push in the back, bang.
It's a free kick. It's been a free kick for 150 years, and that was just poor umpiring. Poor umpiring.
And also grabbing the ruckman and throwing him out of the contest and then taking the ball out of the ruck.
Well, they often ping that.
No, you're allowed to now.
On the weekend. On the weekend, they just grab the ruckman, throw him out of the ground, and then grab the ball. You can't push, block, bump, or hold, surely unduly.
Well, I wouldn't have thought you could grab the jumper and do it.
If you throw the guy to the ground, it's got to be before you even get the ball. Surely that's unduly. And the stand rule. Now I know we've talked about the stand rule, but
I thought we had a moratorium that we.
But I just want to say, can the umpires don't yell out stand until the player actually gets to the mark. So if you take a mark or you get a free kick, that's the point where you can actually stand on the mark. As the player's running in to go there, the umpire yells out, stand, and the bloke is 3 metres from the mark.
Yeah, you think he should shut up, do you?
Wait, well, at least wait until the player gets to the mark and then tell him to stand.
When a player takes a mark after a siren or
Oh,
a quarter,
no, don't bring that up. And the umpires coaches him.
Yeah, it said don't go off your mark.
Oh.
You do sit there saying, well, you just shut up, mate, and let him kick the ball. And if he plays on, bad luck.
They're not there to coach the players.
No.
And if the players don't know the rules, bad luck.
Bad luck.
Bad luck.
Can I send a cheerio?
You never ever hear the umpire say as the bloke's picking up the ball, you're hot, you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah, that's right.
You're hot, get rid of it, you're hot, get rid of it.
Do you know, Reece Conker?
Yes.
Was it Reece Conker? Yes.
Played at Richmond.
A mate of mine was a boundary umpire. And there was a game involving Richmond, and somebody must have hit Reece Conker. And Reece Conker ran off after him, and my mate, the boundary, said, don't do it, Reece. Don't. And he didn't get reported.
He did it.
And the boundary umpire was coaching.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. He's a runner at
and I think
my club now.
I think he's got another role at Melbourne. That's just one of his roles.
Yeah.
I think looking after players and things like that.
Yeah.
But
I remember my mate who ended up boundary umpiring grand finals as well, telling me that story that he tried to pull up Reece Conker one day and he ignored him.
So we both agree umpires should
shut
not be coaching players about the rules.
Absolutely not.
We just umpire the rules.
Yeah. I want to send a cheer out, Kevin, to a mate of mine, Theo, who's been doing a bit tough.
Yep.
He's a great Carlton supporter. Great
Well,
Carlton.
we've got great respect for him then, Doc.
You keep saying that you got
No,
respect
I've got
for
great respect for your mate.
Thank you, Kevin, yes, but you got none for Carlton despite what you say. You've been listening to The Bald and the Beautiful with KB and the Doc. We'll do it all again unless Trump bombs Kevin next week.